Nutrisystem. Is it worth it? From an actual customer who has purchased many of times. Hey, this is Jeff at Below Average. Coming to you with talking to you a little bit about Nutrisystem. Now, this item I did not purchase personally, but my wife has, and a while back did it for a very long time, close to 1 year. So I can give you some great insight on a numerous a bunch of things. Plus, the website has changed many a times. They're constantly updating and changing it. So here, first and foremost, the ease of ordering. If you just obviously go right to Nutrisystem.com, you can end up going on there, and there's all kinds of info on their site. You can see all the different foods they have and their choices. Even if you're not wanting to make a choice because you don't know some of the items, how they taste, what they are, they have a chef's choice, which they choose a nice variety for you. But I would highly recommend looking at things that you're going to want at least to try yourself. Very simple to use. A nice website for maneuverability on there just to see what's going on. Especially, if you haven't ever done it before and you're curious about it, but still just not quite sure, go to the website, just click around, no problem, simple as all get out. And I'll give you some ideas as we go through things. I'll give you some ideas on what to do. First and foremost, do not order your first time everything online. As simple as it is to do and to utilize, I suggest to make the call first, to talk to somebody. There's no difference in cost. And the benefits can be great on your side as the ease of doing the first transaction through them. Plus, there is a very good chance they will be a one-time extra bonus of up to 50% off of something. It changes all the time. The one that's on there all the time, though, is like the shakes. You can get shakes at 50% of the cost. And once you're into that program, it stays a nice price. But the first time that my wife actually called on that, there was an additional savings off of one of their other products that was substantial, that if you purchased it at that time, you would stay at that price point until you stopped ordering. So they could have something like that. And like I said, the cost is no different. And now, to give you an idea, now they actually, and I thought they should have this years ago, when you signed up on their better programs that they have, when you look on there for the price points, in the past, they would give you the cost. And what you did is every 30 days you had to purchase it for that cost again, because you're kind of committed to purchasing, say, 90 days or 6 months. But they didn't take all the money at once. Here's the cost. Every 30 days they go in there and do it. Now they do have an option on there at a very nice reduced price that you can end up purchasing 6 months up front. Boom, done with it. Purchase it, be done with it. And you'll save like an additional $50 to $75 a month, depending on the package, and the program. But that is a huge savings over where my wife was at years ago when she's done this. Plus, I want to let you know too, at the end of the video, if you can please stay towards the end of the video, I'll give you an inside info on some more cost savings along these lines. But first, you want to try it. Nothing's worked out. You're trying to lose weight. Where my wife did lose, it was like almost 30 pounds within the first year. If you stay on their program, everything you read, see online, everything really falls into what they say. And so it does come down to it. It's a calorie counting scenario based on how many meals and what they tell you should eat. So just keep that in mind. I'll go into that more here in a little bit. But also, the quality of food is fantastic. Obviously, there's something you're going to find you're not going to like. And that's why trying a little bit of everything at first, and then every month you can revamp and rechange, what you're looking to order because of something maybe you didn't like. You do have some options along those lines, which is very nice to end up doing. So I would suggest you do that. And I suggest if you do that for the very first time, after you order and there's something you don't like and you want to make sure you don't get it again, Don't go online and make the change, even though it's very simple. Still make the call to talk to somebody to make sure somehow you don't get a double order in 1 month, which my wife and I did. And I tell you what, customer service was great, and they fixed the problem. They helped us on out because it was their system that had the issue that shouldn't have happened. So just call first, if you're going to change the order. So another one, shipping, how they ship to you. Everything's dry ice. Everything comes in great through the winter time, and I'd even say early spring, late fall, no problem. But when you get orders that are coming in during the summertime, make sure you will be home that day for sure, because almost every time the dry ice was pretty much gone, and I don't know what would have happened if somehow we were gone for 2 days when the order showed up. I don't know what happened. So you want to make sure you are home on the day that it's going to show on up. Easy to track, easy to know. And try to work your vacations around, when they're going to be shipped and when you will receive them. Definitely would like to do that. I'm going to check that one actually off my list right now. That was great. And I mentioned the taste of the food was very good. Very nice variety of food. So when you order, you're not good. You're not going to be stuck to certain types of food you don't like. Very nice variety. You will enjoy it. Portions, I would say, to some things are would most people would feel adequate, and some portions are probably not, because as they do recommend still that there's things you still have to buy that you will add to your daily intake of the food. Plus, here's the kicker, every month pretty much has 30 days in it, and their system is the most is 28 days. So no matter what, when you're looking at the cost and what you spend per month on your own food, you'll have to add 2 days of your own food plus some additional. So depending on how you do well with that will determine the overall cost of the program, as you should include in there everything you spend outside of the program to include with it, so you have a true cost of if you're willing or want to or can afford to end up doing this. Now, my channel, Jeff at Below Average. So you want to make sure that this doesn't tank your budget. So keep track of everything so you know where you're at. Very simple. And the nice and ease of everything right into your refrigerator or freezer, and you have a list. They send you a list of things that what times of the day, or not times of the day, but breakfast, lunch, dinner, mid-time, mid-noon, all these kind of different snacks and different things. Things are color-coded. Things are simple to get into, so you know. It keeps you on track. The big thing is just to make sure that you're able to not get don't want to get overly hungry and go crazy, because you have to get used to the portions. Portions are smaller, but they do make you feel more full. If you think that you can just go like to the grocery store and just go buy something similar and you just pop it in the microwave and you're going to be good to go, the taste of the food much better, Nutrisystem, but then the other one, it does the quality of stuff is so much better that you do feel more full, I should say, than if you're trying to duplicate it out of the store. So keep that. Let me get that one a nice variety. Keep that out there. Cost long term. When my wife was on it, you'd set into a program, you'd commit to like 90 days to 6 months. They'd give you a price, but that was every month you paid that. I did not like that at the time. I was hoping to try to pay a bunch up front to get it out of the way, because as if you are a person like ourselves at Below Average, keeping a chunk of money set to the side, everything goes wrong and you always want to pull to use it to keep yourself afloat. So their new program, they have it. You can actually pay up to 6 months in advance with a very nice discount of another additional $50 to $75 savings. Depending on, do you purchase their extra shakes for half off? Did you purchase anything else they offered that would increase the price? So there is a little bit of a range, just to let you know. So as you're going through, you don't get stuck with a salesperson you feel like's trying to give you a little bit more, trying to boost their commission if they get paid that. I do not know, but gives you something to think about. Calorie intake. Depending on the additional stuff that you add to your meals per day, the 2 days extra a month, and do you do the shakes, the calorie intake's like 1,000 to 1,200 calories a day, so it is pretty light. That's for a female. They do have costs if you are a male, costs more, but you do get more food because they do actually add more calories into your meals per day. So it's something to think about. So it's not a high, it's not a high calorie thing. It's not I'm going to eat and I'm going to feel so full and everything's going to be so great. I'm still going to lose weight. There is a method to what they do. Quality food, control of the calories. Just to let you know, right? Up front, pretty simple things that you probably wouldn't see on their site. Maybe you wouldn't think of at first, but that's exactly how it works. Boom, off the list. Like I said, place your order first. Call them first to make sure that everything goes good. Plus, you might get the additional thing if you want it. Give you a little insight. After that, you can go from there. Let you know on customer service if you have an issue. They were fantastic every time, the few times we ever had to call them about anything. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. And if you seem to have an issue with somebody you're talking to, or you don't think they're quite understand what you're saying, hang up, call, you'll get somebody else. Guarantee you, things will get fixed. But I highly recommend their customer service for any issues or questions you have. So another one to knock off the list, right? Remember the big one I mentioned already? 28 days, not 30. However you buy them, you can even buy them as low as 5 days. Now that was something they offered, but they would send you in a prepackaged box of stuff. Now it's regular food. They do a 5-day one, which make sure you're careful when you're on there. If you want to do that, that's great. But the 7-day food doesn't come out to be a whole lot more for the month, and it does give you some more days to eat without you having to go out and search. At least initially, if you're trying it, I would try to do the max of everything. Max the ease of use for yourself because all the food's there. Pay a little bit more money because you are adding the days. And later on, if you want to change that a little bit, go about it then. But initially, try the whole thing up front. So that one's out of the way. Like I mentioned before, change it if you are after you try something. If you don't like it, and you want to change your order. Like I said, call them online, call their customer service. You don't want to double order to hit, and you have to figure out how am I going to store all this stuff if you don't, if your refrigerator's small. That's what happened to us. But so we learned. But it was also a problem within their system, should not allow it. So the next one, like I mentioned before, the payment up front is huge. So if you're looking at, this is Jeff at below average, so we're looking at savings all the time. So if you can pay that 6 months up front, if you have the cash, great. If you don't and you have that much room on a credit card, which is what they'll take initially anyways, if you can end up doing that, I would suggest to do it. Just make sure every week that you normally go buy groceries, take that money and make sure you put it on your card weekly. It might be a pain to do it weekly, but you don't want to wait till after 6 months and food's gone. You might reorder and you're left with hundreds of dollars left on your card because you just didn't pay it off. So make sure you do that. That's the big one. That's the big one, folks. Now, this is what I'm going to tell you. After my wife did this for probably approximately a year, she did lose the weight. Great system, great stuff. I do recommend it if you got the money to try it. But breaking down to the actual costs, as on most of my videos, I do talk about you need to budget your money. You need to know where every dollar goes on everything you spend. I suggest for up to a year to know exactly what you need to do or what it takes for you to pay your bills. And then you can obviously work on those yourself on getting rid of certain things. But the big one is food. You'll be able to see over time where your food is at, how high, low, what reasons, holidays, not, whatever. And you'll be able to look at that. So as I talk to you about this under their new system, and I'm not talking if you're buying anything extra like the shakes or anything else, you're looking at the 28-day plan and you buy it 6 months in advance. It's over $9, they say, a day. So time you add in the few extras that you're supposed to buy and you add those 2 extra days, just for ease of an example, let's say it's $10. So in a 30-day month, you're looking at about $300 for yourself. Now, if you're someone that's never kept track of your food budget and all this kind of stuff and you go out to eat a lot, you're spending probably quite a bit of money. If you're somebody like we've done for the last about 6 months, where we kept so much track of where our money's going, I'm getting sick of it. But I'm also wising up. This should have been years ago. It was everything I assumed. You know what they say about assuming, you make an ass out of you and me, so let's try not to do that kind of thing. So the budget part of it, $300 approximately on their best program they offer, paying long term, all that kind of stuff. I do believe that if you take a little time, a little initiative, and you're buying your groceries like you are now, however you're buying them, you make changes within them to better quality food. Maybe if you actually want to keep track of calories, just so you can do a comparison on the calories that they're talking you're going to have versus what you think you can end up getting to, you will look at the savings, will look at definitely being probably anywhere from $75 to $100 a month. And if you're really good, I'm sure it could be $100 to $125 a month cheaper to purchase your own stuff, to cook it, and go that route. More time, obviously, so you got to have the time. If you have the time, you're going to have to spend it on there. I would suggest then by going to the grocery store, if you got one locally, to try to go there more than once a week. Just pop in on a couple other times. If you're really good with your money, your cravings, you stick tight to that, and you can go in there and you can try to pick off. Big one is probably any kinds of meats, turkey, chicken, ham once in a while, whatever, any ground beef, anything that has been clearanced, or maybe they're doing a big sale on it, where they'll put the little red sticker, 50% off, 40% off, 60, whatever it is. And you can have additional savings from that, and still have some food that you feel like is going to be quality for yourself. And then obviously keep track to see if you can maintain or lose some weight. And by doing this and keeping track of everything, you will easily be able to see what you're able to do compared to the Nutrisystem system. So that's the big one. This is a channel that I try to look at giving people ideas on saving money, or at least be aware of what you're spending, so you can see if you can save any money. You can definitely save a lot of money by not purchasing the system. If you have the time and the ability to willing to do it, or incorporate both. Try it for the 6 month scenario, whatever you want to do, or even do it for 30, 60, 90 days. As I will tell you, you will find things in there you really like, and maybe that'll help you mimic some other items. I don't think for the most part, in the store, you're going to find too many of the quick microwavable stuff that you're going to be that's going to be as appealing as their items. But you'll be able to find some cheaper, but it'll give you a better example. You might be okay with paying the extra money through them if you can afford it and not have to worry about it. And you might want to stay on this for a long time and end up being fine with it. But if you want to try it out first, and then maybe after 6 months go off it, see what you can duplicate yourself. Keep the calorie count the same. That's the big one. If you can keep calorie count really close, then you can evaluate the money. And remember, money saved is money earned. It's money in your pocket. It means that might be a time you don't have to go back to work for that one extra day of the week or those extra hours, because you can save money by buying cheaper food. So, and I always usually throw in, if you invest that difference over a period of time, be crazy money. I didn't do it on this one because it is food and it is tough. And I think most people that get involved with the Nutrisystem, eventually they'll probably go off it for a while, maybe, and then try their own thing, and maybe go back on it. There's a bunch of different stuff. But I think if it's something you want to try, this is live or real life examples of somebody who's used it for a long time, and who has no problem recommending it if you can afford it. And if you can only think you do it short time, then if you want to try it just to see what it's like, and then go back to see what you can mimic, it would be fantastic. It would be great. So hey, please like, subscribe, comment down below, so other people can see maybe what you're going through. Maybe you've been offered a different deal when you called. Let people know down below, so maybe they can bring it up if they call, because who knows, If somebody's watching this video 3 months from now, 6 months from now, their website's going to change. Prices are going to change. They're going to have different offers. Maybe they can bring something up from before and they'll be able to end up having it, but they won't know unless you put something down in the comments. So, hey, thank you. Appreciate it. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.